Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this.
Harvey Elliott behaviour at Aston Villa speaks volumes amid nightmare after Liverpool transfer. Unai Emery has said conversations are ongoing around Harvey Elliott's loan move as the 22-year-old's Aston Villa nightmare continues. Elliott has played just 5 games for Villa since joining the club on a loan deal from Liverpool in September. If the Reds loanee makes 10 Premier League appearances for Emery's side, he will become a permanent Villa player. In the process, the Midlands-based side will pay a £35 million transfer fee. So far, Elliott has made 4 league appearances, with one of those coming in the starting sheet. The deal had looked like an exciting prospect for Elliott. He made only 2 appearances under Arne Slot last season and Villa seemed like a good opportunity to find more minutes. However, this hasn't come to fruition, as Emery explains. "We are speaking with him and about his situation," the Villa boss said. "He is not here with us. Hopefully, we can get the best for him and the best for us. I respect him as a player and as a person. He is training well, but we have one circumstance with him. Hopefully, we can get a solution for him too. Tried to play consistently and tried to continue his career with us or not. I have spoken with him 2 or 3 times about the situation we have with him. Firstly, my decision and the situation. Firstly, my decision is a sport decision and secondly, he's on loan playing with us. He's not definite to move to us with a permanent contract." Despite being in a state of transfer limbo, Elliott's attitude looks to be impressing Emery, an experienced manager. The 22-year-old hasn't given up despite not being played. His efforts in training aren't anything new for Villa. Last month, a report from The Athletic revealed that the Aston Villa staff were happy with Elliott's attitude and application in training. He is also said to have not taken offense to Emery's tough love early on, as has been made clear with Mohamed Salah's turbulent situation at Liverpool. It can be easy for a player to revolt against their club when things aren't going their way. However, despite still being in his early 20s, Elliott is showing a great level of maturity. Where his future lies is unclear, but if he is to return to Liverpool, his hard work in training will make him fit to start if Slot chooses to give him another chance. Rio Ferdinand makes laughable Mohamed Salah claim amid Liverpool drama. Would be a joke. Mohamed Salah caused a bit of a stir when he accused Liverpool of throwing him under the bus, claiming that his relationship with Arne Slot has completely broken down. It was a remarkable interview. What happens next, though, remains to be seen. The player is under contract for another year and a half, and Salah's only likely exit route would be to Saudi Arabia. The spell in which he is away at AFCON could prove to be a cooling-off period. Liverpool dropped its talisman to the bench for the trip to West Ham, and for the 2 games that followed. He was also left out. The 3-3 draw with Leeds, in which he wasn't brought on, appeared to be the final straw. Since then, several pundits have given their take on the situation. Jamie Carragher, who was called out by Salah as part of the explosive interview, went on the offensive, while Rio Ferdinand has offered his take too. Ferdinand, as ever, was keen to put across a rather controversial suggestion. He says that the player's position is essentially untenable after such comments, with the question being where he could go next. "There's no way Mo Salah goes to Man United," Ferdinand said on his YouTube channel. "I don't think he's got that trait in him that Vatsa Wayne Rooney or Carlos Tevez had, where he goes the extra mile. But yeah, I would make an offer, a public one as well. It would be unbelievable, wouldn't it? It would be a joke." There's no doubt in my mind that the Liverpool players don't want Mohamed Salah to leave because he helps them win trophies. Al Hilal and various other clubs in the Saudi Pro League would be keen to sign Salah if the opportunity arose. The Saudi League's chief executive, Omar Mugharbal, confirmed as much in the wake of the news. Salah is welcome in the Saudi League, but it is the clubs that are responsible for negotiating with players, he said. Speaking at the World Football Summit, he added, "For sure, Salah is one of them a target. It remains to be seen whether or not Salah will return to the Liverpool matchday squad for the visit of Brighton in the Premier League this weekend. The Egyptian will then be heading to AFC Oman, where he could miss 8 games for his club." Arne Slot hinted that Salah would need to apologize before he could be brought back into the fold. Xavi Simons praises Liverpool man as strongest player he's ever seen. "Liverpool is not attracting too many plaudits at the minute. Hard-fought win at Inter notwithstanding, Arne Slot's side has been in the trenches. The Premier League table does not make for pleasant reading. Months after securing the title, Slot finds his team in 10th, behind the likes of Everton and Man United, and 10 points off the summit. So the Reds will take praise wherever they can get it, even if it comes from one of the players who finds himself below Liverpool in the standings. Xavi Simons will have hoped for better when he moved to Spurs in the summer amid previous links to Anfield, and it seems that none of his new teammates have made quite as much of an impression on him as Virgil van Dijk. Like the team as a whole, Van Dijk is having to face up to some heavy scrutiny. His defensive work is legitimately under the microscope for more or less the first time in his Liverpool career. With a soft deflected goal against Sunderland after a cheap giveaway, something of a personal nature. Not only that, but his leadership is being tested to its limits. Van Dijk hit back at Wayne Rooney after the former man suggested the captain was not doing enough to set the standards, but he has certainly had his work cut out, with Mohamed Salah throwing a grenade into the camp by going rogue with his comments after the draw with Leeds. But while it might be a testing time for Van Dijk, he retains recognition within the game as one of the very best around. Simons, who is an international colleague of the Liverpool captain, recently name-checked him as the strongest player he has ever seen. Asked by the Spurs TikTok account to build his dream player, Simons had no hesitation in selecting Van Dijk for his strength. His picks for other categories included Lionel Messi left foot, Neymar skill, and Kylian Mbappé speed. This is illustrious company for Van Dijk, underscoring exactly the kind of regard in which he is held by his fellow professionals. Admittedly, Simons' picks of Luc de Jong for heading and Frenkie de Jong for intelligence point to something of a national bias. But there is no real doubt that the 34-year-old will one day retire as one of the very best to ever do it. The Spurs social media team might also have been hoping for one of Simons' current club colleagues to make the list. But even amid his current struggles, there are few who would dispute that Van Dijk would comfortably get into just about any team in the league, Tottenham included. If Liverpool is having one or two jitters about the decision to extend Salah's contract, there should be no such regrets about Van Dijk. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards will have been well aware that the terms of the deal would likely take the captain beyond his peak years. But it was a calculated bet that even a subprime version of the Dutch Colossus could still contribute a lot to the team. Nothing from this campaign has particularly dispelled that notion, even if Van Dijk would be the first to say that he expects more of himself. And there is every chance that he will look back to something close to his best as and when the team's collective levels start to rise. After all, there were no bones to be picked in the recent win over Inter, and it's probably no coincidence that this was the first game in some time where Ibrahima Konate looked truly assured alongside Van Dijk. Moreover, Van Dijk has generally been celebrated while away with the Netherlands with Simons. Although he has not entirely escaped criticism, it is being treated as a given that he will lead his nation into the World Cup a little over 6 months from now. Ultimately, Liverpool will get out of this mess together, but as it sets about doing that, it cannot hurt to have one of the strongest players to ever play the game among the ranks. Harvey Elliott gifted shock chance to replace Mo Salah at Liverpool as Aston Villa close in on replacement. Aston Villa are preparing to send loanee Harvey Elliott back to Liverpool, with Unai Emery's side set to sign a direct replacement, giving the Reds outcast a shock opportunity to fill the void left by Mo Salah. Elliott, 22, secured a move to Villa Park on transfer deadline day, joining on a season's loan that includes a conditional obligation to buy for £35 million next summer. However, the move hasn't gone to plan, with Elliott playing 5 times for Villa so far. Emery has decided that the £35 million that Villa would be obligated to pay should he make 10 appearances for the club is better spent elsewhere. Can confirm that Villa have already informed Liverpool that Elliott will not be allowed to meet the terms of the obligation, so they are looking at sending him back to Anfield next month. The timing is interesting, given that Salah's very public criticism of the Liverpool hierarchy has led to him being dropped from Arne Slot's squad in mid-week. Salah is unlikely to return to the fold this weekend either. He is training separately from the squad and, as we reported earlier today, has no intention of apologizing to Slot or anyone else for his outburst. Elliott, who can play as a winger or attacking midfielder, could therefore get minutes back at Liverpool if Salah decides to pursue a move away from Anfield. Aston Villa set to sign Brazilian winger Terms agreed. As they prepare to part ways with Elliott, sources confirm that Villa have agreed terms with Gremio forward Alisson ahead of the January transfer window. Villa have made an approach for the 19-year-old Brazilian winger, and the two sides are close to finalizing their overall deal, with personal terms now in place. They plan to ask Elliott to make room for him in the squad. Alisson's deal is worth close to £11 million, and Villa are wanting him to be in England by the end of this month so he could be ready to play in YNWA. As mentioned, Villa have informed Liverpool of their plans for Elliott, and the Reds are assessing the situation, given the ongoing Salah saga. Those at Anfield are considering whether it would be best for all parties to have Elliott back at the club. Elliott only left Liverpool in the summer due to his desire for first-team football. Not because rated by Arne Slot and his staff. He notched 5 goals and 3 assists despite his limited minutes for Liverpool all last term. At one stage he was in with a chance of an England call-up, but a major transformation is needed for that to become possible again, due to UEFA and FIFA rules. Elliott will not be allowed to join a different club if he leaves Villa, as he can't play for 3 teams in the same season. He made 2 appearances for Liverpool this term before his switch to the Midlands. Arne Slot, Reds manager, plans on signing a long-term deal with the young centre-back Jeremy Jacquet. Liverpool is trying for a contract extension with Konate. Things are not progressing well, and his contract ends in 2026. The manager started looking for some talented defensive options like Jeremy Jacquet. Liverpool are scouting the French centre-back Jeremy Jacquet and plan on signing him as Konate's replacement. With this uncertainty in the defense, signing Jacquet is a good strategic move for the club. The young 20-year-old centre-back currently plays for the French club Stade Rennes AFC, and he has recently extended his contract with the club. That is till 2029. The young defender turned down the Gunners when they reached out for him in the transfer window. Still, the club continues to monitor his progress and plans on taking on Liverpool and Manchester United in the signing battle. What makes the French centre-back Jeremy Jacquet an attractive option for the Reds? The technical skills and the aerial threat that the Frenchman possesses make him an attractive option for the club. He is a 6'2" tall centre-back with very good athleticism and a strong defensive game. Moreover, his dribbling skills help him stand out as a defender. He also possesses a constant threat in the aerial position too. The defender is young, fast, and adapts well to the playstyle of the club. The player is precise with his tackles and drops perfect long balls for the strikers. These attributes make him a smart and talented defender, which can be the perfect replacement for Konate. How could this turn out for Liverpool? As Liverpool is currently unable to sign an extension contract with Konate, they will eventually need a defensive replacement, and going for the young French centre-back seems a low-risk option. The plan is to sign him for a long-term deal. This will help the club to resolve the defensive problems and focus on the attack lineup, as there are rumors of Mohamed Salah's exit in January. Moreover, Jacquet is a safe option, as he is talented and young, which means he can provide for the club. He can sign a long-term contract, helping the club avoid the short-term risk. The player will also certainly consider joining the club after Konate's exit. He will be guaranteed regular playing chances. He can also grow better under the shadow of a world-class defender, Virgil van Dijk, but the player is already signed with Rennes till 2029. This can cause the club to spend a big parting fee to convince the French club for the transfer. Authors' opinion. In my view, if Liverpool can transfer Jeremy Jacquet for a long-term deal with a low parting fee, it would be a very bold and smart strategic move by the club. The young defender is really talented and is performing really well in League One. Moreover, Jamie Carragher said, Liverpool will be completely fine if Konate leaves. He is not Virgil van Dijk. He also added that I'd like him to stay, but if he doesn't stay, they will sign someone else.
Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.